Hello everyone, welcome to the Competency Mapping series. Today we have a special segment for you, a live behavioral event interview, also known as BEI. Our esteemed guest for the day is Mr. Sanjay Shitore, a seasoned oil and gas professional currently serving as Senior Directional Driller. Ever wondered how petrol reaches the fuel tank of your vehicle? Well, during this interview, Mr. Sanjay will enlighten us briefly on this fascinating journey. So, let's drive right in. Mr. Sanjay, thanks very much for making time for this professional discussions. To begin with, will you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, it's my great pleasure having a time with you and sharing my experience or oil field experience wherein you are interested. Just a little bit about me. I'm an oil field professional and having experience of over 26 years. I work with different companies, and my last designation, what I'm working as, is directional drilling supervisor, wherein I drill horizontal and directional wells to explore the oil and gas.
Lovely. You must have faced, come across rather so many challenging assignments in your life.
Mm.
So, we would like to know one of those which
Mhm.
you felt was very, very challenging,
Mhm.
and please narrate the what was the situation, what was
Mhm.
that assignment, uh, the team members who were involved,
Mhm.
what were different roles, and how you planned the assignment and how you executed.
Right. Well, it's my pleasure to quote one of the incident which really built my confidence in my oil and gas industry. Once I was drilling a well in offshore. Well, before that, I would like to say that in oil and gas industry, I'm not sure if you're aware of the working environment of the oil and gas industry. We have we work 24/7. So basically, oil industry is divided into two parts. One is the upstream, and the second one is the downstream. The upstream it includes the search of the oil, which we call it prospecting, then drilling and exploring and producing the oil. And the downstream part comes where the refining of the crude oils begins. So these are two different parts, and our work environment is, or you can say, our job hours or working hours is 12 hours a shift, wherein we work 24 hours, but the drilling goes on 24 hours basically. So we don't stop. So now we have two engineers on the side. One is the senior, he's leading the job, and the second one is junior, who is assisting him, and who is at the same time learning from the senior. Now uh, I was a junior in the team. I was a second hand in the team, and this incident I'm quoting from a very beginning of my directional drilling career. It was something like the senior he does his shift in the daytime, and the junior does his shift in the night time, or we can say day shift and night shift. So when I was doing, and we get the support from the base office. Base office is always there to get the support when we are remotely drilling. We are sitting in the middle of sea and drilling the wells. But during daytime, we see that there are a lot of senior or expert hands from the town or from the base office to give you advice, or you can discuss with them and take the suggestions. But it becomes sometimes very challenging in the night shift, because night shifts are, as the drilling is going on, but the town is sleeping. The administration or the managers, they are sleeping. But now, why it becomes crucial is we have to take a decision. Now, it's second. It's always senior is always there. He is sleeping, of course, on the same break, but it's not good to wake him up at every now and then. But sometimes we have to take a decision or make a decision. And being a junior, it was very crucial for me to take a decision. Junior cannot take the decision, but I have to admit that I'll be responsible for the consequences what is going to happen. But I was quite
So you
confident.
took that risk.
Yes, I did took that risk, and I was confident that I will definitely do it. Though I'm not supposed to do it officially, because this task, what we are going to do now on the rig, at the middle of night, we are talking somewhere around 2:30 or 3 o'clock a.m. past midnight. I don't have any support, and it's something like I have to do it. And then also, I took the opportunity to prove my abilities. It's been quite long that I was expecting some, promotions in the sense to become the senior or lead the job. But being the seniors around, it's difficult to prove yourself. But this, I just took this opportunity and try to prove my skills or expertise, and that's where my that's that this incident, it changed my life upside down.
So
It,
you took this opportunity and you took that risk,
Mhm.
okay, knowing the consequences, but you were very sure that the decision that you're taking is in good faith and in the best interest of the company.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say, that I know the job, but it's only because the seniors are always available around. So I never got the opportunity to work as a senior hand. So I knew the job, I performed the jobs in the past, but only thing I had to do is I have to do that job as a senior. Now the risk was definitely worth taking, because senior, he you cannot go and wake him up every now and then, and the managers who are sleeping in the town, you cannot wake them up every now and then. Of course, it's a crucial situation where there is no go. We will have to take a call and wake them up anytime. But then sometimes you have to take the chance and
But this was a calculated risk.
calculated risk. This was a calculated risk. Now, what was the incident is, there's something we call it sidetrack. Sidetracking a well. When we drill a well, being a directional driller, I drill horizontal wells or directional wells. Sometimes what happens when you drill a well, we see the pipes are stuck in the hole, the main hole. We try to make an attempt to retrieve the pipes, but then because of the calculations, or there is something called, we call it drilling economics. We cannot spend much of time, and we have to leave the tools down there, bury those tools, and then pick up another tool, set of tools, and start a new hole. New hole in the sense, we continue drilling, we continue lowering the tools until the top of the old tool which got stuck. We call it a fish, and slightly maybe 50 meters above the fish, we try to deviate the well and start making a new hole. Now this was a very difficult and very important task. Important task, why? Because it takes some time to come out from the mother hole and make a new hole. You really have to drop the angle, turn the well, and bring it back to the normal plan.
So that needs a lot of strategy making also
Exactly.
and
Yes.
planning well.
So I was aware, well aware, that this scenario is going to fall in my night shift. And though my senior, he said that if you see any difficulties, you can wake me up anytime. But then I was quite confident in my job, and I did not want to miss this opportunity. So I took a decision, and well in hand, when the senior knocked off his shift, I made the strategies and plan. Yes, no, true. Uh, I did a flow chart, and then I performed step by step. And fortunately, that was really a successful well, and we drilled in a record time.
Wow,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So big achievement, and at the end of the day,
Mhm.
the risks that you took
Mhm.
was worth
Work.
taking.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Then it was something like, the morning was a new morning for me. I started getting the moment the offices, the managers back in town, and the client officer managers in town, they were expecting a report. that okay, we are still doing a side track and the well is not sidetracked yet and the operation must be going on. So he was expecting, these managers in the town, they were expecting when they wake up in the morning, and in the moment when they open their mails and they saw that we are successfully sidetracked and we are drilling ahead. So that was a game changer in my oilfield career. And
Wow.
that's from where the managers, they started assigning me on the critical wells, which I really always love to be a part of it, because when you drill a critical well, you really do some brainstormings, and at the same time you are using your own experience. You don't get, there are techniques which you don't get in those books, so you learn by experience. That's how we have to perform and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you actually put those experiences and learnings to practice and at the right time.
Right.
So that was quite an important decision that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, were there other team members who were involved in this, or were you coordinating with some team while you were on this assignment?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any other key players in this, or you were doing it all alone?
Well, I the team size we have in a shift is like on the rig itself. When we go on the job in the field operation, for the operations, we are two directional drillers and two MWD engineers. So these two direction drillers, they are responsible for drilling the well, following the planned trajectory, and the LWD engineers are responsible for preparing the tools, calibrating the tools, and recording the data which is coming to the surface from the tools. So we are a size of four engineers on the site. One directional driller and one MWD will work in a day shift, and one directional driller and one MWD will work in the night shift. So as I said, the day shifts are always handled by the senior member of the crew. In directional driller, there was senior, he was taking the lead, and there was another MWD engineer, he was senior to the one who was working with me. So that's how the team was split. And to answer your question, in oil and gas industry, there is something called RTOC, Real Time Operations Center. With the help of satellite, entire data is sent to the town, received in the town, and there are engineers there sitting and monitoring the wells as a safety factor. If something goes wrong uh, in the field or by the field engineers, there is second eye sitting there, or there is a third eye sitting there who can always pick the mistakes. So that was the support. But then again, I realized that the directional driller who was sitting in the town monitoring the wells, he was junior to me. So this is quite obvious that I don't
So
think,
practically there was no support.
no support, you can say.
Okay, good.
Of course, there was one support. My senior direction driller, he was there on the rig, but he was sleeping.
Okay. So that time you were not coordinating with anyone at night.
No,
You were just
I was concentrating on
doing
my
on your own.
job. I made my strategies,
Hmm.
and I executed as per my
Hmm. Were you
steps.
coordinating with the MWD engineer
Yeah,
in night?
definitely. A MWD engineer, he plays a very crucial role when we are drilling, especially when the critical operations like side tracking, kicking off. There are few more operations which are really very critical, and you need an expert MWD engineer who will make sure that the tool which is down there is sending the correct data to the surface, because there is no subsurface cameras. All we have to rely is on the data which is coming to the surface, or the data sent by the tool to the surface. So if the tool is sending the garbage data, then I'll do
Correct.
the wrong things
Right.
on the surface, because the tool is my eye. So when
Okay.
it sends the surface, when it sends the coordinates to the surface, I know where the bed is, if it is on the right track or not, and then I do my calculations and instruct the driller
Okay.
to.
So you were in constant touch with the MWD engineer
Mm,
and were getting the data, also doing your calculation analysis, and then
mm,
accordingly refining your strategy.
right.
Perfect.
This MWD engineer, basically, we MWD engineer and direction driller, we are sitting in the same unit. We call it a unit. It's nothing but a container which is fully computerized. We have a system in place. We have sensors, uh, which is getting data from the different part of the rigs, which is necessary for drilling. So we get the data with the help of these sensors, and the data is collected in the computer. I monitor the screen and continue the drilling. This MWD engineer, he at the same time, he ensures that if there is any noise or any wrong pulses coming to the surface, he being a expert engineer, he will definitely pick up the noise and cancel it to make sure the data coming to the surface is correct, and he is passing on the data. He is passing correct data to me, because my actions will be based completely based on his
Inputs.
inputs.
Okay. Fine. So this was a really very fantastic, challenging opportunity, which gave us a lot of insights about the kind of difficult tasks that you people come across,
Mm.
and how successfully you completed it. So thank you very much again for making time for this discussion.
Mhm.
Thanks very much.
I'm also really thankful for you to sharing this part of the world, which is not really very common to the layman.
Right.
I would say the layman, they don't even know the fuel they are filling in their vehicle or the bike. They don't know from where it is coming. So it is that different part of the world we belong to.
Right.
So it's really a great opportunity for me to sharing some operations, some experiences, which no one can witness there, because
Correct.
nobody is allowed. It's strictly a private zone.
Correct.
So thank you very much.
Thanks very much
Yes,
once
sir.
again.
Yes.